Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'll be turning some of this Red Mallee burl that I picked up from Exotic Wood Zone probably over a year ago. It's been sitting around the shop and I really wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with it. I had contemplated casting it in some resin, but just really nothing was coming to mind. So this past weekend I decided to just clean it up, put it up on the lathe, and then see where it takes me. I could have easily turned these corners off on the lathe, but because it's burl, I tend to treat it like gold. I'll put those aside, save them for later, and hopefully something interesting will come to mind to use them for. Using some wood glue here. I use Type Bond 3, it's what I've always used. You could also use epoxy, or I've seen some people use hot glue. I just tend to use the wood glue. I let it sit, I'm not in a rush. Typically let it sit overnight, or for at least for a few hours, and then I can turn it. As I mentioned earlier, I really didn't know what I was going to make out of this once I got it mounted to the lathe. At this point, I'm just shaping the bottom. I know whatever it's going to be, I'm going to need smooth transitions, and then see what it looks like from there and make some decisions. 9 times out of 10, when I mount something to the lathe, I already have a plan in mind. I've envisioned it. I kind of know what I want the end result to be. So this was a little bit more new for me, just mounting it and see what happens. You'll see I'll stop here and I'm really taking my time. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to decide what I want to do with it. I could make a bowl with some live edge to it, but ultimately I decided to make a hollow form. So I start taking some off the top. I really want to make sure that I leave some of that natural, those pins from the burl and natural edge. Now it's just a matter of how much, when to stop. So it's a good mixture of clean surface versus the natural edge. This burl is really dry and dense. I've got a 3/4 inch Forstner bit and the Jacob's chuck. The lathe's running at 500 RPM, and as I'm trying to drill it out, it's pushing the tailstock back. I'm getting a lot of smoke, and I come to the realization that it's probably way overdue to sharpen up the Forstner bit. I do most of the hollowing on this piece with John Jordan's 1/2 inch hook tool. This is the number 1. At some point I moved to the number 2, and they're paired up with Trent Bosch's stabilizer. Here I'm cleaning up the opening with the Easy Wood Tools number 3 hollower. Sometimes it's difficult to get right at that rim with some of the other turning tools, so I'll use this handheld piece just to clean it up and smooth out that entry area. Luckily no hand sanding for this piece. I was able to use my bowl sander. I start off with a 180 grit Abernet all the way up to 600. Using my parting tool to give me enough room to get the pull saw in there and separate the piece from the waste block. I give myself a little more room probably than's needed, but I've had some bad experiences where I'm sawing away and a tooth will catch the bottom of the piece and mar it up, and I have to go back and clean up afterwards. So I always give myself just a little bit more extra room than probably is needed for that saw. I did 3 coats of Danish oil on this piece. Once the Danish oil dried, I used the Tripoli buffing wheel and gave it a good polish on the lathe. And that's the finished piece. Final dimensions are about 5 inches in diameter by 2 inches tall. If you like what you saw, be sure to give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave me a comment. I will try to answer all of them. If you're new to the channel and you like what you saw, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch.